I just wanted to say.
You're listening to
your fan favorite section on Break Time on West Side. Welcome to Break Time on West Side, your number one break time show coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Denver B, and this is another episode of the Friday Fan Section, episode 17, aka season 2, episode 5, for those of y'all that are trying to track the seasons and shit. I wouldn't even lie, I'm in such a good mood right now, because I just checked out the new James Bond trailer and the new Black Widow trailer. 2020 is gonna have mad movies though. I don't get how it is that people can just go and then record such amazingness and then sit on it and then give you snippets and then like the full-on thing. But anyways, I do that all the time. Come, pre-record my episodes and then I upload them and then I sit on gold up until you guys hear them. Because I'm nice like that. Anyways, so as usual, we like to go out, or should I say, the internet is our playground. And as Break Time on West Side, we go and we ask you what it is that you would want put out for the discussion of the Friday Fan Section, because Friday Fan Section is essentially more or less all about the fans and all about current day matters. Not the battle of the sexes isn't, but fan favorite section is almost like special. As in, it's probably the most current shit that will come through, because most of y'all's issues are stuff that happens in the now, not stuff that happens in the before. Anyways, I went in, I asked what it is that you guys would want discussed. So someone came out and they asked me about DMing someone on Instagram. And I think that's probably going to be the hardest for me. Because, fun fact, I've never really a shorty's DMs and tried to get with them and shit. I don't know. Does that make me a kid? Or am I just too old? Yeah, I still don't get what's up with that. Sliding into DMs is, for those of you that don't know, probably you're over 30, you don't understand what sliding into DMs is. Sliding into DMs is pretty much messaging someone. It's going to the private message box, either on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter mainly, and trying to shoot your shot and get the shorty or the dude. Hell, because shorties also slide into DMs. I've had one or two slide into mine and I didn't have a problem with it. How would you slide into someone's DMs as a guy? I don't know. First of all, you have to make sure you've got some really good photos. And I'm actually saying this because shorties, just the same way as niggas do, I'm pretty much taking a me approach to it. How I do it when someone slides into my DMs. When someone slides into my DMs, I like to go check out their photos. So all of you fuckers that put your Instagram accounts on private, go fuck yourselves. So I'll check out your photos and I'll see who you are. I'll kind of gauge. Do you look nice? How are your thoughts on some things here and there? Because obviously, whenever you see someone post up a photo, there's a caption, then there's the comments, and there's how someone reacts to the comments. With that, you kind of get a good feel for who the person is. So in that case, I will find out who you are as a person. Then afterwards, I'll go back and I'll be like, okay, now I can probably start answering the DMs. I have got to be real with y'all. It's just because I'm a nigga and a shorty slid into my DMs doesn't mean that I'm just going to reply if I don't, find you worth replying to. But 9 times out of 10, I will probably reply to DMs. Even from guys. Guys also DM me as well. And it's mainly on a platonic thing. And it's perfectly fine. But anyways, I will check out how your profile is, how you look. So I'd probably say for guys, do the same thing. Make sure you have some pretty good looking photos on your IG accounts. So when you're sliding into DMs, you have the first impression bit covered. Because once you've got the first impression bit covered, then conversing becomes a hell of a lot easier. And, guys don't just slide in someone's DMs randomly hey, what's up? There has to be sort of a point of reference. So there's probably this photo that somebody just saw on the explore page. Probably, you've been following this person for a while and y'all haven't known each other. Y'all just followed each other and shit. Use a point of reference, go in, holla. Hey, what's up? I think you look amazing in this photo. And the usual is thanks. Or, in my case, because I was once on a reality TV show, like someone slid into my DMs and they were like, hey, so I found your performance during this and this and this to be really, really hilarious, and you were quite the asshole or something of that sort. And then I was like, well, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Like, usually it's not that bad, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And with that being said, it became a hell of a lot easier because there was a point of reference. Now, you don't just go and toss a compliment on a photo. If you say someone looks nice, then you've pretty much just stonewalled yourself. Like, give yourself a point at which someone can become a bit more interesting and be like, yo, hey, I really thought that the dress accentuated your looks pretty well. Is that how you dress? Or was it like just for an event? Do some shit like that. At least it gives, some range to actually discuss shit. And then while you do all of that, you can kind of go further and further. Provided that the person that you are DMing is interested in you, they will keep the conversation going. And the whole idea of sliding into DMs is to get to know each other, probably get to the point where you all have each other's numbers, you can hit each other up, meet up, go do your thing. If it's going for dates, if it's Netflix and chill, that is what it is. And that's pretty much it. It doesn't seem as hard when you just talk about it like this, but hell, it's like hitting on a woman or a guy, like hitting on anyone, really. It seems really easy when you talk about it, but as we Kenyans say, kwa ground vitu ni different. So yeah, that's handled. Now on to the next bit. So I was recently chatting with a couple of friends earlier, and also it was a discussion that I saw happening online on one of my WhatsApp groups, actually two of them, and it was about pregnancies and how, shorty's been getting pregnant and, how abortions have kind of been on the rise. Not that it's an entirely bad thing, sometimes stuff happens and sometimes it's okay for circumstantial reasons like, let's say, rape. Then now the story of fake pregnancy started coming in because shorties have found this way of skimming a nigga out of cash by telling them, you know what, I'm pregnant and I want to go get an abortion, so I need this and this much. And trust me, to be very honest, I have contemplated talking about this for a while. I have held back on it for such a long while. So when I am getting into this whole topic, just be sure I really contemplated it because to some extent it could have some level of backlash. It could have some level of hate associated with it. But you know what? For the sake of some sanity on this planet and for the sake of getting rid of a bunch of liars and gold diggers, I'm down to do this episode. You know what I mean? So, anyways, back to where I was. So, fake pregnancies were being discussed by a bunch of friends and a bunch of people on WhatsApp that I happen to be in a group with. And we started looking into how people keep getting scammed like that. Because, guys, I won't even lie, most niggas are ignorant. Most niggas are ignorant. And I'm not even talking about like just ignorant in the bedroom and pull-out game is whack and shit. Or wears a condom badly and stuff still spills in. Or doesn't check on the condom and it bursts and shit. Like, that's not even that ignorant. Like, ignorant to the point where it's like, I need this and this much to get an abortion, and you don't counter check a lot of these details. And because you don't counter check the details, you're at this level where you're like at the mercy of the information that she gives you. So if she tells you that an abortion is gonna take 50 G's, you're gonna put that shit down. If they tell you that it's gonna take 10 G's, you're gonna go and get that money and put it down. Because this is both of y'all's problem, but you feel like it's yours because you're the one that technically made her pregnant. But funny thing, I was chilling with a bunch of friends a bit of a while back, and there was a statement that one of my friends told me. She was like, Denver, girls choose who they want to get a baby with. Like, they choose their baby daddies. And that shit hit me. It hit me to the core. Because I was like, how the hell is it that, shorties just get to decide? Because I was like, yo, if we see a guy that we aren't willing to, like, have kids with, like, yo, We would rather tell you, like, you have to wear a condom or some shit, or if you don't even pull out, we'll organize for the P2s. Like, we can find a way, but we choose our own baby daddies. When I heard that, it kind of hit me, because I was like, wait, are shorties really this conniving? Like, are shorties really this thoughtful to the extent that they're like, you know what, I would want to have this guy's babies, and they actually make it happen, like even outside wedlock and shit. So now that I knew that was a thing, I think this situation seems a lot easier to explain. So you find that the ignorant guy will obviously try out different things, as usual, the Netflix and chill, they smash a lot. So when he hears that, I'm pregnant, obviously he's going to be like, oh shit. And it's usually the one of both ways. Are you keeping the kid or are you losing it? When you decide, I'm aborting, this guy will be on board. And yeah, most times this guy will be on board. He'll tell you, whatever it is that you need, I've got you. You'll tell him a certain amount, he will pay it. And, you're supposed to go and get your abortion. Or, you can say that you're keeping the kid. And then now that becomes a whole complicated situation, which I've never been to. I've never been through, and I don't think that I would probably want to be in up until, the time is right and shit. So, obviously, as a guy, we're oblivious. We just want to go and hit it. At least most of us. So, when you hear certain stories about, shorties getting pregnant yet used a condom, it seems a bit odd. But I'd probably say, let me have that for a different episode, because I will go into how shorties have been conniving and how they've played niggas for ages in a bit. But now I'm on the whole pregnancy story. So someone was busy joking around saying that they know of this particular girl who had 2 boyfriends. She was dating 2 guys at the time. I don't know how both of these guys didn't even notice. But anyways, in this Nairobi that I live in, it's not hard. It is not hard to get played. But anyways, so she was dating these 2 guys. She went and she told the both of them that she's pregnant, and she needed 35 grand to go and do an abortion. Here's the interesting bit. She told this to both the guys, and both the guys sent her the 35 grand. Now, that being said, sorry, there was an alarm in the background. It just had to stop for a bit. So that being said, you look at it, you're like, is it really that expensive to abort? So I did a bit of research. I called up a bunch of friends who might know someone who's had an abortion or have had an abortion. And, I also tried to see if I can talk to any professionals, chini ya maji and shit. And I kind of asked around. And here's the figures. Let me give most of y'all the figures, because niggas will be played by people into thinking that, it'll cost either this much or this much to, have an abortion. But I was being told backdoor, the whole illegal backstreet means is very ish-ish. It's entirely dependent on the person who's doing it. And it can cost anything from, 6 Gs, 5 Gs, 8 Gs, going all the way up even to 20 plus. Depending on where it is and depending on who it is that's going to do it for you. Because it's technically not very legal for it to be done in this country. This country being Kenya. Because I understand that some of you that listen that aren't entirely Kenyan, so I have to cater for you as well sometimes. But now, if you go through some of the more legit means, if you go through a hospital, you want to have an abortion, there's a very long-ass process for it. And it'll be, from going to a psychiatrist, getting evaluated that you're not of full mental sanity, to have a baby. That's when they can legally have an abortion, of which now it moves on to the operation stage, which can cost over 50 Gs. In all honesty, just the psychiatrist is 5 grand alone. So, yeah, that's as far as it goes. So psychiatrist, you're evaluated. And then, if you're deemed unfit, then they will go and have the abortion, which requires an actual operation. Now, you can go to places like Marie Stopes, which are health institutions that are equipped for that. Marie Stopes is probably the most legit way to have an abortion in this country. And when you're going to do it, there's the costs that come in. I went and asked around, and it ranged from about 6 Gs to about 12. 12 was what I was being told is like a full-on package. Now, I'm saying this not to go and outline cost figures for people and know how much it costs if you don't pull out, but I'm doing this so that guys can be sensitized. Because we don't want niggas busy being charged 50 Gs by their girlfriends because they got them pregnant. And chances are they're probably not even pregnant. Apparently, I've been told that those pregnancy test kits can be fooled with using apple juice. Like they dip that shit into apple juice and it'll give them those 2 black marks that everyone is usually afraid of seeing. So yeah, that's as bad as it gets. But like I said, I will go into how niggas get played into getting into pregnant situations. And I won't lie. Guys get played with so damn much. And I feel as though if we came together, if we actually discussed this shit as niggas and as a people, I think we'd get through most of it. I won't lie. The best option for just about anyone is to make sure you use a good form of contraception. Whether it's a coil for ladies or an implant. For guys, I'm hearing that now the male implant is available and it lasts about 13 years or some shit. Or we can just go for the most universal options for either. Use a condom, whether male or female. Use a condom. Trust me, it'll help you in the long run. Because the stress of I got a girl pregnant and now we have to abort is a hell of a lot worse. But even worse than that now is the fact that shorties are using that to play us and skim us of even more money. And I'm saying this knowing that there's someone who's gonna be played into giving cash, I don't know how many times, in the name of an abortion. And I don't think that us guys need to get skimmed for something that just requires us to have a little bit of information. Anyways, that's it for today. Y'all get back to that work. Always put that process in that progress or be the prevention. If you guys have any feedback questions, you can hit me up on IG at breaktime_Westside, on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Breaktime on Westside, and on Twitter, you can hit me up on my personal IG handle at BagakaTheD. I will see you guys later.